That was the first day that I realized, like, wow, like I really need to be careful with what I say to other moms, or, you know, my friends that are moms. Hi guys, today I'm going to do a sit down video and I'm going to just talk about motherhood. I feel like that's a pretty big topic. When I think of motherhood, I think of like a sisterhood. I think of like you have sisters with you that you go through life with, you support each other, you encourage each other, and you're there for each other through good times and bad times. So when I think of motherhood, I kind of think of the same thing, that all of us moms come together to encourage each other, support each other, and be there for each other, because motherhood is really difficult. I've always wanted to be a mom, and I've always enjoyed being a nanny and a babysitter and being around kids. Like, I've always enjoyed kids, and I always knew that when I had kids of my own, it'd be completely different. I feel like I see a lot of moms kind of bashing each other. I don't know, I mean, like the mom shame. I thankfully have not experienced a whole lot. I also don't expose myself to a lot of different kind of mom groups or environments where I don't feel comfortable around the other moms, or where I don't feel like, you know, these other moms are really supporting me and they're just tearing me down. I'm not a part of those communities. The community that I have is a lot of my close friends and a lot of other moms that that I admire and look up to. So I really am very thankful to have the amount of support that I have around me. And I think that's what motherhood is about, is supporting each other through all the crazy stuff that we go through. And we all experience different things with our kids, and it's really hard to like give advice to a mom saying this is what motherhood is, or this is what you do as a mom, because it really depends on your lifestyle, your schedule, your kids. Every child develops differently in a sense. I mean, there's like a guideline of they start walking by this age, talking by this age, and there's all of that. You really have to make the best choice for you and your child. One of my biggest pet peeves as a mom is when, and I'm guilty of it, and I try to be very careful of it because I don't like it when it's done to me, but when other moms tell me what my kid needs. Now, it's one thing if I'm talking to another mom about like, hey, like, this is what I'm experiencing with my kids, and I'm just trying to figure out like what I can do about it. Kind of like I'm inviting that opinion and advice, and I think that's a great opportunity for that other mom to give their advice and input, because you're kind of leaving that open. I remember one of my friends, her baby was a couple months old, and my son's 6 months older than her son, and I remember like that was the first day that I realized, like, wow, like I really need to be careful with what I say to other moms, or, you know, my friends that are moms. But I was over at her house, and, you know, I had experience with my son as a newborn, and there was something going on with her son, and I was over at her house hanging out, and I don't remember exactly what I said or how I said it, but it was along the lines of, oh, well, he needs a diaper change, or he needs this, or he needs that, or whatever it was, but it was pretty like, he needs this, and oh, he has to do this, or he has gas, or whatever. And we have a great friendship, and I'm so thankful for her and just her her grace and her love. And she messaged me later on that day, and she's like, hey, like, that kind of bothered me. Like, I know what my son needs. I know when he needs his diaper changed, I know when he needs to nurse, I know all of that stuff, and I know if he has gas, I know if it's gas, I know if it's fussiness, like, I know what it is. And she said it very well, and I admire her for that. But that opened my eyes to, like, you know what, as moms, we do know what our kids need. And you know, I think there's some moms that really struggle with that newborn stage as far as how to take care of a newborn. You know, if you do struggle with not knowing what to do, don't hesitate to ask. I know you're gonna get so many opinions, but take every opinion that you get and then just kind of try your own things and see what works best. After that happened, I just like realized that I need to be very careful just how I approach things. I'm a very opinionated person. I come from a very opinionated family, so it's just natural for me to just like, here's my opinion or here's my advice. And it's funny because I hate that like the most about motherhood, is that when, you know, women just share that, and it's like, unless I'm asking for it, I really don't want it. I also take it well. Like if somebody does do that, I just kind of like, okay. And if I agree, then yeah, like I'll say like, yeah, I agree. And if I don't agree, I either choose not to respond and just say okay, or I have my objection and I say, okay, well, you know, no, I don't think that's it, for this reason. You know, and I try to respectfully disagree, and that's my opinion. That's totally okay to be able to disagree with another mom that what they do for their child and works, that it might not work for you and your child, or children. So aside from the unsolicited opinions and advice that comes with motherhood, I just want to talk about like the hardships, the day in and day out. And I know this looks different for everybody, so I can only share my experience and what I go through. I think one of the hardest parts is just the keeping up. Like having a newborn, I thought was exhausting, but they honestly, they just eat, sleep, and poop. It's hard to explain motherhood, and it's hard to talk about like what it is that you go through, because every day is different. Some days I have a great day, and some days I feel like everything is a hot mess. So, and maybe that's motherhood, where there's really no consistent days. I think there's, you know, consistent routines and schedules, and that's extremely helpful for the kids and their development, and just as a mom to know, okay, what to expect and how to plan your day. But every day looks different. I do want to talk about going from 1 to 2 kids. There's really no way to prepare yourself for that. Just like there's no way you're really prepared for motherhood or prepared to be a mom or have a child, let alone 2 or 3 or 4. In my experience, going from 1 to 2 honestly went a lot smoother than I expected. I know a lot of toddlers have a lot of behavior issues and setbacks when a new baby comes into the house, but because my son was 16 months old, I don't think there was a lot of that because he was so young. At 16 months, he did pretty well. He wasn't super independent, so that part was kind of hard because I felt like I was kind of caring for 2 babies. But he, I mean, he only had a few months where he was not even necessarily jealous, but just a little bit like, I think he wasn't sure how to respond, honestly. He didn't really set back in his behavior. He didn't start acting like a baby or anything like that to try and get my attention. He was like a little bit jealous with the attention, I think, where he wanted to be held and comforted if I was holding and comforting her. If there were times where she was crying for whatever reason and I'm comforting her, then he would start fake crying to get me to comfort him. So, I mean, we just kind of navigated through that, and honestly, a lot of it was just talking to him. And it's, I know some people are like, how do you explain that much or talk to a 16-month-old or even an 18-month? They can completely comprehend. Like, the more that you talk to them and fully explain things, the more they'll be able to comprehend. So when we had Annabelle, I constantly talked to Joshua about she's a baby and she needs me for these reasons, and I mean, my style of parenting, like, I would call him out on his bluff, and I'm like, you're fake crying, you don't need to be comforted, you're fine, and you can keep playing with your toys or whatever it is that we're doing. I'm not gonna comfort you right now because nothing's wrong. But the second he does cry because he got hurt or he does actually need my comfort, then immediately, you know, like, I'll put her down to show him that, you know, when you need me, I'm still here for you. But I didn't want to encourage the behavior of, oh, sissy needs you, oh, look, I'm fake crying because I need you too. I didn't want to encourage that behavior. So I just called out his bluff and said, you don't need me, you're fine. But when you do, I'll be here for you. And then I follow through with that. So I think that helped a lot as far as his behavior kind of transitioning smoothly through that. The workload going from 1 to 2, so much. I felt like having a newborn and a toddler, I was like, okay, like not too bad. I mean, once she started sleeping in her own crib and stuff, or didn't necessarily need me to like hold her or wear her all the time, I felt like this is awesome. Like I can do this. I can just pop her down with some toys, and Joshua loved to play and interact with her, and I could get a lot of stuff done, or I could, you know, kind of have some of my own time when they were playing in the room together or in the living room, whatever, and then I could make dinner or work on something I wanted to do. So that was pretty chill, and I was like, cool, like if this is what having 2 kids is like I can do this. I was so wrong about that, because having 2 toddlers now, it's like I feel like it's a struggle to get anything done. I mean, I just get through it because I'm the kind of person where I like to stay productive. I have to always be doing something. I like getting things done. So for me, it just makes it harder sometimes, or some days are more challenging than others. I really don't have any like, this is what I do. It's just a mindset that there's no other option. Like there's no option for the laundry to just go for weeks without getting done. Like it's, I don't have that option in my mind that certain things can't get done. So in my mind, they like, I just do them and I just get them done because there's no option not to. I don't know, that's like the best I can explain that. But the workload is definitely a lot more just trying to like pay attention to like, okay, he's over here, she's over here, he's doing this, she's doing this. Like the multitasking going on in your head is ridiculous. And it's like, okay, well I have to get this done, I have to do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this. Okay, well now she needs to nap, so now I'm gonna have to do this instead, and now he's throwing a tantrum, so that's gonna change this. And it just is like constantly changing throughout the day, and constantly just like kind of, you know, some days my head just feels like it's like spinning with trying to figure out, okay, like what I need to do. But then some days are so good and smooth where I wake up and, you know, the kids are usually the kids are in a great mood in the morning, so it's like, you know, then you just have an easier day, and then it's like we eat breakfast and then we'll come outside and play for a little while, and then, you know, Annabelle will go down for her nap, and Josh and I get some great one-on-one time, and then she wakes up from her nap, and then we have lunch, and then we hang out, and then Joshua takes his nap, and Annabelle and I will have some one-on-one time, and then she'll go down for a little cat nap in the afternoon, and then they would both wake up, and then we just have like a great afternoon hanging out outside when the weather's beautiful, and playing and swinging, and I'm making dinner, I have music, I have wine, and it's like, you know, and then we eat dinner and then take a bath and I snuggle them to bed and read books. So it's like, some days it's like that, and those days I really hold on to, and it's like, this is amazing. This is what I've always wanted. I feel like I appreciate the good days more when I have the bad days, because I realize, okay, well, at least it's not this kind of a day, and at least it's this kind of a day. And I really just try to take the good days and hold on to those and think of those good days and try to motivate myself, okay, we're gonna try to have a good day today. But with 2 toddlers, you can't control what kind of a day you're gonna have. It's a lot, but it's so beautiful. For me, I just love seeing the kids grow and develop, and I love seeing the little things that they pick up and copy from Patrick and I and his parents and my parents, and just seeing like all the little stuff that kids pick up and all the cute little things that they do and say. And now that Joshua's like telling stories, and he's like, just like, you can hold a full conversation with him pretty much now, and that I love, because I love just sitting there and like talking to him and just watching him learn so much. That really just kind of sums up my motherhood and my perspective and my experiences in motherhood and being a mom. So if there's something like specific topics that you guys want to know about or hear about, please let me know if there's something you guys specifically want me to talk about or share my experiences with. So if you let me know, I would love to do some videos with that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and hearing about my experiences as a mom and just kind of my ups and downs about it. I will see you guys next week. Bye.